Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good evening, ma'am, and all of my friends. My name is Zahratul Ariija, and today I would like to presenting about phonemes and allophones. So let's move on to our topic. So for the first topic is, what are phonemes and allophones? Phonemes is the smallest meaning distinguishing sound unit in a language. So for the examples are pig and pig. The differences between pig and pig is, in pig have 4 letters, 3 sounds, but in pig have 3 letters and 3 sounds. And the second differences between pig and pig is, in pig, k or k is a voiceless velar plosive, and pig, g or g is a voiced velar plosive. You have voicing distinguishes these two sounds. They different one feather and they share 2 feathers out of 3. But it doesn't matter in English. A voicing is contrastive. It means voicing a sound may result in the differences in meaning. So the point is, here k and g in English are 2 different sounds because they have a contrast meaning. You can safely say that k and g are 2 different sounds in English because replacing one with another makes a semantic difference, and in English, k and g are 2 different phonemes. So if you just think of k and g purely as sound segments, you're thinking of them as phones. So phones are studied in phonetics, but whether they make a semantic difference, if they do, then are different phonemes, which is a study in phonology phones. There are what you actually hear the existence sounds as sounds waves. There are a physical reality. Another example are live or live. For the first live is the last letter in live word is f, but in the second live, the last letter in word live is v. The example above can also be called a minimal pair because they have different meanings and have a different sounds. So next is allophones. The meaning of allophones is a sound variation of different pronunciations of the same phoneme. The 3 variations of P do not constitute 3 different phonemes. There are rather 3 allophones of the phoneme. Like the examples, map for the first map, in the last word p with h, and for the second map, it's only P, and the third map, it's P with code. Let's move on to this chart. For the first B is using for word initially, and the second B is using for afterward, and the last B is using for word finally. After we know the phonemes and allophones, so next let's discuss about distributions of sounds. But before that, we should know what is the distribution. The distribution refers to the set of phonetic environments in which a phone occurs. The phonetic environment of a sound consists of the sounds that surrounded it. There are 3 kinds of distribution sounds. For the first is contrastive distribution, second is complementary distribution, and third is free variation. But for now, we only need to discuss about contrastive distribution and complementary distribution. Contrastive distribution. Contrastive distribution is the situation in which 2 phones occur in the same environment and result in semantic contrast. To determine whether contrastive distribution of 2 or more sounds occurs in a given language or a given data set, you need to find two words that have the same number of phones and that differ in one phone in the same position. For the examples, pet and vet. At first glance, if you listen, pet and vet sound like the same sound. However, if examined, pet and vet have differences, namely the first letter. In vet, V is the first letter, while pet, P is the first letter. And the minimal pair are L and R. For the examples are L for lap and R for wrap. Same like fat and pet. At first glance, if you listen, lap and wrap sounds like the same. However, if examined, lap and wrap have differences, like the first letter and the meaning of the word. The last material is complementary distribution. The meaning of complementary distributions is a relation between the variants of a phoneme, each of which occurs in a certain set of phonological environments. These variants are called allophones. In other words, a phoneme takes a slightly different from IE. It becomes a different allophones depending on the environment in which it appears, like the examples lap, sleep, and veil. L for lap is the first letter in lap word, and second, sleep. L in sleep is the second letter in sleep word, and the last veil, L in veil is the last letter in veil word. I think that's all for me, and sorry if I have some mistake, and I hope you enjoy with this material. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and see you on next video.